or camper trailer?
In this episode, we are going to be taking away two of the most popular towing setups seen all across Australia touring. The old, reliable forward-fold camper trailer and the modern-day caravan. Putting them to the test and doing a direct side-by-side comparison of the setups, budget, and which one would suit whose touring plan whilst we're up here in the snowy mountains of Australia.
If you're like us and you're taking the next step in touring around Australia and you don't know whether to decide between a camper trailer or a caravan, this episode is for you.
We'll be going through this luxurious caravan on the insides and outs that we're finding a lot of people are choosing to travel in these bad boys instead of camper vans.
Don't forget, guys, if you are enjoying the content, flick us a subscribe. We are creating videos every 2 weeks for you guys to watch. Plus, we have discount codes at some of the biggest companies around Australia, including iTech World, Undercover Australia, Salty Captain, using the discount code Always Touring, and even our own quality merch for you guys to wear when you are out touring. The reason why we wanted to make this video for you guys was because we have gotten to that point in our traveling and touring around Australia where we wanted to expand a little bit and make things more comfortable.
And when we're going to start a family, we need to be able to fit all the extra little people in.
Exactly. So we're going to make this a really honest and open review for you guys and compare the direct side-by-sides of a camper trailer and caravan. And hopefully you guys can redirect yourselves as to what you need and whether it's worth breaking the budget or the bank. So starting off with the caravan, the one that we're going to be basing this episode on is the Austrac Talawana 15-foot hybrid caravan. Now, a couple specs and stuff before we jump into it. This is a 2.2 unladen weighted caravan, and I believe it goes up to 2.95 tons. So just shy of that 3-ton towing capacity when it's fully got everything in it, when it's got your fridge, your water, all the accessories and storage that you've got in there as well. A couple key specs. The awning is a button awning. You just press one button, it pops out, and then you switch the legs out. Hybrid caravan means that you don't just pull in and then it's already set up. It's got the roof that pops up, and that's just done with a button also. So I've gotten rid of that old school wind up where the roofs go up and down. The good thing on that is it also has a manual override where you can actually drop the roof itself if the electronics stop working for whatever reason. So they've sort of half bush-proof it where it can't go up if the button doesn't work, but in the manual override, you can still go traveling to a spot and drop it for safety purposes.
Well, now it's time to do the classic watch everyone set up and see who does the most arguing.
This is the first pinnacle of van lifestyle now.
Turn the mic on, man.
Yeah, Samuel, I did. Did you just stop? Again?
Not off to a great start. Let's see how this plans out.
So we're finally now being able to park up for camping now that Samuel's already stalled twice. 2 stalls in 1 minute.
Clutch is bugging.
I bet. I just got bitten by a bloody ant or something on my toe.
I think I'm being set up here.
Are you helping out, Mum, or are you just going to stand and play with the dogs and take photos?
I'm not talking to you. Okay, come back. Yeah, righto. I don't know what the point is. So what's it for? To level it? Well, where's the level so you can see if it's level?
Camp trailer, caravan life has started. Step 1, arguing with the other partner to be able to set up your campsite for the next half an hour.
Roger.
Dad, I don't think it's level.
Up. A little more. Dimmer. Stop. I'm doing what I'm told. I'm not sure where that goes. Where's the keys?
So give it another, couple years and I think we might be in a caravan next and this might be us.
We are currently spectating what other caravanners and camper trailer people do when they come to campsite, set up. We're going to sit here and judge.
And watch the arguments happen.
Yep. And then we're up next.
Steps are going down. Beautiful. Does help. Everything's a touch of the button. I do want buttons. It would make it a lot easier.
You're going to help him, Mum, or you're just going to stand there and watch?
I'm staying out of the way. Do you need to put anything under that wheel? What if it rains and sinks? Oh my God, look how dirty it is. Can you just do this one?
Mum, the question is, what are you doing to actually help out? Or is it just...
I'm moral support.
Why don't you just get a champagne and sit down and let Dad do it all?
All right. Problematic. To me, it looks like it's unhitched.
So 7th problem in the last 3 minutes, or?
Have you got the brake on? The
Nice.
handbrake is
Look at
on.
that.
Penis going into a vagina.
Jesus.
This bit here.
Oh, stop.
I know, it's good.
No, that was moving the whole caravan.
Yeah, I know.
Nah, no way. That's not unhitched. Nah, stop, Dad. Stop. There we go.
Control panel for the van. There's lots of lights and buttons, and
Which button's the one to make the roof pop button?
it says open awning. No, that's the wrong button. We want to open the roof.
Oi. There you go. You finished your first job for the day. Their caravan's also got 600 watts of solar that just sits on top when they rock up.
We have to put out our solar blanket, but that's okay.
We might be able to rig up something on top of that cage. Righto, Big Rig, our turn to show off how we set up our camp trail for the first time.
Yes, well, this will be our 4th time practicing now. We had 3 attempts
At home.
and now we're at campsite. We'll actually give it a go.
And it'll be done like that.
More like that. Okay, I'll do the clips.
No fights.
No fights. I'll undo the clips.
I just said I'll unhitch it first, so that's all right.
First fight of the day.
I'll get the drill. All good?
Yeah, done.
Dunsky.
Done skis.
I'll move the car now.
Yep. Sometimes you need to listen to the women in your life. It's the truth. Can we manually push it?
Hey?
Can we manually push it?
Nah.
You're just moving it back.
Yeah, it's not really level.
Manually push?
Are there any other bubbles on there that says where it's level? Oh, it's just not like very level.
Sam, you didn't listen when Grandma and I said it's not level, and now he's detached it all and it's not. So much easier doing it that way, isn't it?
Hey?
So much easier that way.
Doing it with this.
Yeah.
I don't know how people don't do it without it. What's it getting stuck on?
We got to take the fins out.
Oh, you didn't take them out?
Not yet.
Oh. I would have liked to do this by myself so I could see what it was like if we had kids and you weren't helping out.
Oh, you didn't want me to help?
Oh, you might as well. I don't know. I mean, if we have a kid right now,
Well, there's some things I can do if they're on my chest.
you're not going to carry a baby on your chest and help out with this.
I can.
All right, that's on camera. You
I
guys
don't
heard
mean-
that?
I
Maddie
don't
said
mean
she's going to
all
help
that.
out with the baby on her chest when we're doing the camp trail.
Yeah, if you had the little fin, but not always. But yes.
Oh, not always. Yeah, okay, so 10% of the time. Oh, that's better. I think the other day, because we have... So you don't need to do them all the way out. You can just do the first couple of threads.
That's alright.
No, like there's literally no point.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I've got the blue elastic tape on here, Mads. Now I know how far to unroll that, so then it gets to the exact length.
Oh, that's smart. Hold on, you could.
Without it getting caught on something. You get everything else ready.
I can't do
don't need
anything
your
until I'm in there.
No, that's all right. I'll just do this.
I'll hold the pretend baby.
You want to show the camera what you just did?
Well, that's enough clowning around with the setup. Eventually, we'll be getting better and better at it, getting it quicker and quicker, but I thought it would just be funny to throw that in there. But let's do the serious comparison between the two, and I'd love to know in the comments what you guys think.
How long do you reckon that took you?
10 minutes?
10 minutes? That's not too bad.
Not too bad.
Now, just finishing up on a couple of the final full finishing touches of setting it up. We throw out the solar panels for the 12-volt system, get the fridge going, which we just got this new beauty, the iFrost from iTech World, the 95-litre dual fridge zone freezer.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the Caravan itself. We thought that would be the best one to start off with because it is obviously the most expensive and has a lot of gear with it. And Mum and Dad have just bought it as well. So this is their first trip that we've taken it out to a little place near the Victorian High Country. And Mum and Maddie are going to run you through some of the specs on the inside and all the little things that you get with it. And then we can compare it to the camper trailer.
Alright, so one of the little perks is you have
It's
got...
an interesting mic you got there as well.
It is, the bigger the better.
It seems to be getting bigger every episode.
Hopefully not, because I don't know how much weight I can hold. So we've got two gas connectors here. The perk about that is you can rub your Weber on it here and still have it connected up to your little gas cooker.
Nice, so it's
here.
extendable, so it's not stuck in the same spot.
And then coming over to this way, we have our lovely sink with drawers as well, and also your gas cooker up top. And then you've also got more pantry space just above here and above here.
Very good.
And then V's going to show you over here.
More pantry space as
Our
well.
little bar area
Very
for
nice.
afternoon snacks.
And then you've also got a little slot for the TV that you can pop onto there as well.
Yeah, so there's a TV on the inside, and then the TV can be put on the outside here. So when you're sitting around at night time underneath the awning that we've got here, you can watch it both inside and outside, depending on how you want to do it.
Yep. And then you've got more 240 volt connectors here as well, and light switch on the outside.
12 volt.
12 volt, sorry.
There's another two 12-volt plugs.
You guys will notice in this that there will be a lot of 240 volt and 12 volt accessories in and around the camper van or caravan. Very modernised. You guys forgot the most important part. You've got the fridge.
The fridge, and this is a 95 litre one.
So you can fit a 95 litre fridge freezer in there. And then it's got a cool little...
More pantry storage as well.
So that slides right out.
And it's just got a cooling fan and a lamp on the side here as well.
Oh, what's the cooling fan for? I didn't know that was there.
To keep your fridge nice and cool.
Oh, on the inside? Oh, so it stops any overheating problems. Yeah, as you guys know, one of the biggest things is when you store your hard using electronics, whether it's inverters, fridges, freezers, on the inside of things, you get no airflow. So they've actually thought about that. That is really cool.
I think something else to notice is what we're standing under. So the good thing about this little awning is all they have to do is press a button and it will just come out as the footage that we'll show you.
Yeah, which is something that the camp trailer doesn't have, but we'll get into that in a minute.
On the handle lights so we can climb up, even though it's daytime.
That's a good thing, because at night time you want to be able to not trip up these stairs.
And then the good thing is the switch panel is just right at the front, so you can choose what you need to do at the time. As you can see, there's multiple options
And it's got a light
of
there.
lights.
So just a quick one on that, because obviously a lot of people doesn't hear. So you've got all of your 12 volt switches here, then you've got your 240 volt inverter there, and then you've got all of like your roof, your awning, and everything that lifts up there. And then
Yeah,
you've got
aircon.
your whole control panel here, which tells you all of your amperages going in and out solar panel, just your whole red arc system that's involved in that one.
And so this caravan as well comes with aircon, and it also comes with gas heating as well, depending on what the weather's doing. Diesel gas heating.
Very good.
And then we've got, how many litres is this fridge?
No idea, but it can be a fridge or a freezer, which is helpful, as the angle is as well.
There's heaps of storage. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, on quickly, counting.
So much storage. That's pretty stoked with that.
And then as well, we've got a little bathroom here, and I like how the mirror comes out so that you can get ready not in the bathroom.
Oh, I can perv on you from another angle.
You've also
Weird
got the
because it's mum and
sink
dad's.
and the toilet, and if you come around, the shower can actually change its height depending if you are a taller person, but I'm a little shorty.
Yeah, Mum, what are your thoughts on that ensuite? Obviously, you haven't had one of these before in your caravan setups.
It's lovely. It's got its own fan. It's got its own light. It's lovely.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it would add like an entire month to being off-grid on your travels, you know? Like if you want to be able to be comfortable and things like that, having your own little ensuite that you can have your toilet and shower would add a massive bonus that you wouldn't get on a camper trailer. Mum's run away. She's scared.
She's
Scared of the
left
camera.
me to do this solo. So we do have a gas cooker inside, and then your sink as well inside that connects up to water. And this is the TV I was referring to that you can either use inside or outside if the weather permits.
Yeah, so you got a gas cooker inside and outside, so everything has a kitchen inside and outside.
I think this is one of the benefits of this camper van, that you don't have to get such a giant size one, but it still has everything you need to be able to live inside. So we've got the little lounge and the table as well that can move depending on what mood you're in.
Yep.
And then we've got a nothing but the best king size bed.
Yes, huge. That is definitely big.
And then they've got a little fan here as well that you can obviously position or move around depending how you want, if I don't run my
On
finger
top of
in
the
it.
stereo system, the fire thingamabob, the air conditioning, the sunlight roof, the extra storage in the backhand corner, and all the storage up there.
And the canvas as well, once you zip it all up, it makes here really, really dark, so you can have multiple sleep-ins.
So the great thing about this van also is that this door can split into half. We haven't worked out how yet. So it's either just the fire screen or full door, and that completely locks up, and it's really dark in there when needs be, with little curtains. Let's go around the back. So we've got a storage container there, which I use for rubbish, but that can be used for extra water.
Yeah, you want to tell everyone why you refuse to get a rubbish bag on the back? They're not ugly. They've got
You can
good
get
ones.
some nice looking ones.
Now, underneath here we have 220 litre water tanks, and there's a 90 litre grey water tank, because in national parks you have to have that now.
And that grey water tank, what they were talking about before was the water that you don't use in the camper trailer goes into that grey water tank, and then you empty that grey water tank. That makes sense. It's not like an external water tank that you fill up. It's like a tank that you empty
where your
into.
dishwashing goes into, your shower water goes into, obviously the toilet's septic, and
Yes.
that goes in its own little compartment.
Which I think is great. I don't know, haven't really been too much into the caravan world, but that's a really good idea because of all the new rules and regulations, particularly in New South Wales. These little things make such a difference. You know, you head up to the Ningaloo Reef and things like that where you're going to be fully self-contained, they're one of the things that you need to have.
Here we have the shower taps. I haven't got the key to it right now, but there's 2 knobs and there's your shower nozzle. And we have an external shower curtain which hangs up there, comes out. We haven't used that either because we don't know how.
Nice.
We've got more plugs here. We've got antennas. We've got
What don't they have, Mads?
Everything.
storage like you wouldn't believe. It goes.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's
wow.
huge. That'd be,
I really like the
for
flooring
reference
on
of
it.
camera, that's like 1.5 meters.
You could put a person in there easy. Put a
Ooh.
little baby. Put the little babies in
There
there.
you go. Wait, baby.
Put the babies in there.
Lots of beautiful drawers that can fit all of Jeremy's rubbish in there. Whatever that's for, in case we break down.
And for those watching, if you are Maddie and I's age, mum and dad's age, grandpa and nana's age, I'd love to know to drop in the comments if something like this is costing around $70,000 would be in your budget range. One of the biggest things between a camper trailer and caravan is usually budget, but there's a few highlighting points I've already started to notice that the camper trailer might prompt it on.
So this is the diesel tank for the heater, and we also store the Weber in there. This is fishing rods. Note the little light in there, they're everywhere.
Oh, very good. Yes, everything's 12 volted up, so it's all convenient at night time. Also stereo system out there, I've noticed as well.
Yeah, they've really thought through everything.
Yeah. And whilst we've got Dad here in Big Thoughts, he doesn't want to be on camera. I'm going to ask him, how did it tow on the back of the D-Max? So Dad has a stock D-Max, as you guys have seen in previous episodes. Doesn't have a jacked up Patrol or Land Cruiser, so probably fits in a lot of people's categories that's watching this and doesn't want to spend $250,000 on a setup. On-road towing on a highway, off-road probably for about 45 Ks. How did it tow? We've got airbags in the back.
It was fine. You obviously realised you're towing something quite heavy, going up hills, etc. But on the highway, it was fine. You chew a little bit more juice, so they do weigh a bit. You'll notice that you do have it on the back, but on the dirt, fine. No dramas at all. I mean, we were travelling on some pretty rutted roads to get in here. Also some gravel roads, like so slippery gravel, and we had no dramas at all.
Okay, and
There was no dust in the van when we got here.
oh, that is a
It
really
was-
good one. That is something I completely forgot, is dust proof. Yes?
Yeah, it seems to be. Yeah.
Nice,
Yes.
loving it. And final question, do you know how many litres per 100 you're doing on the highway versus what you're doing on the road? Sitting around 110 kilometres on the highway, were you?
No, you can't. Like, you wouldn't do 110 tone these vans. I mean, you can. We did when we bought it from Newcastle, but it's not advised. So about 100, 105 is about the most you want to go. We're getting about 16.5 litres, 16 litres.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then when you were just off-road, sitting around that 50 kilometres an hour or so?
That was going up and down hills, so a little bit unfair to sort of put a number on it, but it was probably about the 18, 19 litres. But we were going up some pretty serious slow inclines there, so for quite some period of time, so
Yeah,
it
okay.
was hard to judge.
So sitting around that 16, 17 litres per 100, that's pretty good for when you're towing 3 tonne. In an Isuzu D-Max, which I would probably put on the market as your standard dual cab carrying four-wheel drive. Rightio, so let's compare the camper trailer to the caravan. Let's not put any unrealistic expectations on a $70,000 setup to a 2019 $20,000 setup. I think this forward fold signature Elite X camper trailer is a really good standard to start at when it comes to the entry-level camper trailers that people might be looking into. So first thing that we notice straight off the bat is we have an outside kitchen only. So we start off here, we've got the gas stove that opens up right there. It's got 4 gas burners. And then we've got a little fold-out, draw-out table there, which then comes with 2 front drawers here. So this is where you have all of your cooking utensils that Maddie has done up there. Kitchen sink connected to a pump. And then basic 12-volt system on the outside. We've got 2 12-volt cigarette lighter plugs and then 2 USB-A ones, so they don't have the USB-C ones. I noticed that the Caravan had the USB-C. Outside, it comes with an awning. It takes about 25 minutes to set up, so we've actually opted out doing that. Anyone that's had camper trailers in the past knows how much of an annoyance it is to get those out. So for airflow, we got these out, but if I want to sit out here and enjoy the area, I'm going to be in the sun. So it's going to be a little bit difficult. I think what we're going to do is have to get the D-Max and get the awning out on those sort of occasions. Now, storage-wise, if we pump into the storage that we've got on the outside here, we've got a drawer that opens up here. This is where we'll keep all of our food and big saucepans and fry pans and things like that. Please bear with us, we don't have everything fully set up because we only just got this the other week. And then we've got all of our tent poles in here. We keep the ones for the inside on the inside, but for doing all the outside windows and stuff, that's where the storage is right there. So I want to show you guys something really exciting that's just new on the market. So this is where the fridge and the fridge slide goes, and it comes with a fridge slide already indulged in it, and it can fit, I reckon, around 105 to 110 litre fridge freezer, which is bigger than the other one. But look at this.
Oh, I love it. I'm
the
obsessed.
iTech World 95 litre iFrost fridge freezer. So really good thing about one of these is you can lift it up, the lid stays like there, click it down, you can take it completely off, and you can do that on both sides. It's got all of your volts that you can have on your front here, so it actually has a cut-off voltage system where you can set it to, it will stop making the fridge go at 10 volts or so it doesn't completely drain your battery. You can see how many degrees each side of the dual zone fridge freezer is here, and I'm a huge fan of it.
Now we'll move into the interior. We don't have automatic stairs that go down. We have to do that ourselves, but come in. Just here we do have a speaker. We don't have as fancy of a switch panel. And we do have some lights here as well to be able to turn things on and off. Under the seats there are some storage. So as you can see
Which is
there.
half, as you noticed straight away, it's already half full. It's got the wheel arch there, and then we've got the speaker system.
And there's not full storage on this other side because you've got your 12-volt system. And then there's storage underneath here as well.
So that's a full storage. That's one.
That's a
full
complete storage. And then on this side, we have quite a small little storage space, and with a small little drawer down
Which
there
could
as
fit
well.
Maybe 2 boxes of tissues.
Maybe not much. And then as well, we've got two 12-volt systems here, one with a cigarette plug and two with a USB plug. And then, if I can reach to it, we have our 12-volt system down under here.
Yeah, so this one has a capacity of 2 120 amp hour batteries, whether it's lithium. At the moment it's got the deep cycle, but we'll get into how that's all done later. And then I reckon one of the biggest things, I don't know about you, Maddie, is the first thing I'm noticing in this is it's all canvas. So anyone that's sort of lived in rooftop tents or anything like that, canvas holds heat and holds cold. So like if it gets cold in here. If it gets hot, it gets really hot in
It's
here.
also quite prone as well to getting mold on it if you don't let it completely dry out. So we have had to give this a bit of a vinegar spray
Yep.
to try and get rid of it.
But we've got a larger living area than the Caravan. This has, you can fit about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people around. It's a small table, but you've got that whole area just there that everyone can sort of sit around and do it. The downside is there is literally there's only 20% storage capacity compared to the other one, and then you can drop this one down there as Maddie's doing.
And you can also make a
Turn that
bed,
into a
bed out of it when you grab out this slide bit here. Okay, and this bed's not as big as a kin, but it is still a double and pretty comfy. We do put some bamboo liners and some extra eggshell mattress toppers.
Yeah, you can put
to
a
make it
really good
comfy.
quality mattress on there, can't you? And you can keep it in here.
Correct,
we
and you
fold it
can
up.
fold everything up, unlike our rooftop tents where you have to take a lot of the pillows out. So the setup on the inside is you've got 6 windows around, so you can open them up to allow good circulation of airflow. But as well, when you close them all up, it does keep it quite dark in this tent as well, but not as dark as a camper van. So the downside to setting up the camper trailer to the Caravan is it takes about 10 times longer because you've got all these separate poles that you've got to put in the right position, stretch them out to stretch out all the canvas.
Yeah, including the original folding out at the start.
Yes, including the original fold out of the staff. And then you've also got to set up all these new little mattresses here as well.
And you said that took you about 10 minutes to do the inside?
Yeah, about 10 to 12 minutes, depends how hot and stuffy it can get in here when you're setting it all up.
So moving around to the front, so this is about half the size, accessibility and storage that you've got on the front drawbar of the trailer itself. So we've got the gas bottle, we've got 2 water jerry cans in there, and we're gonna have a lot of opportunity to put stuff and store stuff in the front, but the only downside is, for this one compared to that one, is that you can't have access to it because where it forward folds over the front, you've only got,
Small
this much
space.
access. The other one, you had the whole access, drawers in and out, and a lot to it. Now, going around to the back, so I'd say the back has similar storage when it comes to height, but the length just isn't there. So this here is probably about 1 meter by about 70 centimeters. The other one was about 1.5 meters by about 1 meter. So there's a lot of opportunity for storage there. And then we've got storage here as well, which is just the other side with a similar setup with another drawer that pulls out, and that's the other side of where the tent poles were. So we've only got about 4 different storage options on the outside that are about half the size, where the other one had about 10 or 12 in and around it that were about double the size. If you can see here, This is where the electronic switchboard, I'm going to redo all that up, so that's not a storage unit. What I've been told is it's got two 70-litre water tanks underneath, no grey water tanks, so it's 140 litres of water connected via pumps. And then where they've got the water pump that is situated under here is another tiny little storage thing, which we just sit our aircon unit, so it's not really another storage unit as well that can be placed under here. But the good side about it, if we have a quick look here, you can see this entire cage that goes over the front of it, which I'll show you, which you guys saw when we opened it up. And you can basically custom make this to have solar panels, shower awnings, or anything that you want on there that you want access to when you open up. Some people use it for putting in a boat. I think this is what originally it was made for, 100 kilos of storage capacity on it, which would be a cool little thing I'd like to. Now, this is the one up thing that the Caravan does not have. We have 2 spare tires that fit on the back. So straight away, we've got the extra spare tire for the camper trailer, and we can match these to the car. So we can have 3 spare tires for the entire setup of the D-Max as well as the camper trailer. So a few statistics straight off the bat. The lengthways of this is smaller than the Caravan. It's about 11 or 12 feet. So it's about 3 or 4 foot smaller than the Caravan itself. It is half the profile size in height, which means you should get better aerodynamics. And I noticed with the Caravan, it sits higher than the vehicle itself. So if you're going into car parks, which you're probably not doing too often, it makes those little differences. The downside is it's a pop-up forward fold. So that takes about, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes for me to do by myself, or 10 minutes if Maddie's helping me out, as opposed to 3 or 4 minutes with a touch of a button set up for the other vehicle. Weight-wise, this weighs around 12 to 1300 kilos. And I think maxes out at about 1850 kilos. So towing, we are about a ton better off, but we lose a lot of storage and a lot of comfort. Now, the fuel consumption I noticed of this one is a little bit difficult for me to tell straight away, but everything says if it's a ton less, you're going to be using about 2 to 3 litres less towing one of these, which will make a big difference if you don't have a long range fuel tank. On the D-Max, I noticed it does about 17 litres. Dad's was also doing 17 litres, but mine was doing 17 litres completely loaded in the back of the D-Max on its GVM, and this being a ton less. His was empty, this had a ton more and a higher profile. And then the final statistics I want to throw in there, so obviously we're going to talk about is that it's all canvas. One of the downsides to that is that the hot and the cold temperatures don't hold as well. But flappiness in the wind, if you're sitting on those beachfront views in the top end on the east-west coast of Australia, enjoying the beach, and you get that 25 to 30 km/h wind that's come through every afternoon, you're probably going to get a bit of flappiness. So if you can't see, we've got a bit of a canvas set up over the top as more of like a weather protection for any rain and UV rays, so it doesn't destroy the canvas itself. But one of the bad things about that is that you get that flappiness like you would in a rooftop tent, and you definitely don't get that with the Caravan setup. Mum wanted to add a final little thing in here.
I love my little push buttons. It's a push button.
Here, hold the mic.
Push button, open the step. Push button, open the awning. Push button, and the roof raises up. However, and obviously the awning is fantastic. Takes a few seconds, no effort comes out. But there are some side walls that come with it, which is going to be not our favourite thing to do.
Yes, I was literally just saying to the camera that the reason why that we're saying that we're not putting the awning equivalent out on ours because it takes 20 to 25 minutes to put out there.
Yeah.
And it's a pain in the bum.
Yeah.
So
with this one, you've got the front awning, which can just slide into the tracks there. But on the sides, you've got to attach these big contraptions, try to slide it in there, and it didn't come ready-made with the van. So to have to install that ourselves, we've got to screw things into it, probably stuff it up because...
So you turn your setup from a 3-minute setup into a 15-minute setup, is that what you're saying?
Perhaps. We don't have to. But the wind, if it's windy, this could be problematic.
Yeah, and I think that's just more of caravans in general. I mean, there's no solutions on the market at the moment for that, right? Like there was no other caravans you're looking at that showed that.
No, they're all similar setups.
Yeah, exactly. Look at the dogs. These Kelpies, they just love a snooze. Don't they, mates?
Big day of filming.
So, after watching that, I don't know, what are your thoughts on it, on the whole caravan to camper trailer situation? The first one that sticks out to me is that the caravan's luxury.
Look,
it is bloody luxury.
It's luxurious, it's got room, push of a button, but I guess it's money as well. You know, we're quite a young couple and we don't have
$70,000 up our
sit
sleeve,
in there.
particularly when you're talking about full driving and off-roading around Australia, already spending money on those setups itself. So I think different eras of life allow you to move into those setups. I know there's a lot of other YouTubers out there that have $250,000 setups. They travel full-time. Good on them. Love to see it. However, if you are a normal traveller like ourselves whilst you're watching us, and you've got a house, you've got a mortgage, and you're going through life and you're starting kids and things like that, you need to think about budgets and the difference between the rooftop tent and the camper trailer
or
setup.
even the swag.
Or the
This
swag, yeah.
is so crazy,
Yeah.
and you get an ultimate extra bit of comfort that we found having your own little living room in the camper van,
Yeah.
especially when it's wet weather. Us and a rooftop tent and it's raining, we are hiding in that rooftop tent because we've got nowhere else to go.
Yeah, in there we've got that space. So I think honestly it's the perfect step point up to the caravan until you can afford that point. And going off-road as well. Going off-road with 1,800 kilos compared to 3.5 ton allows you to go those more places. And you can drag the camper trailer through stuff that you wouldn't really drag the caravan. You know, you're not all for adventure taking your car up into the middle of the Kimberley with your $650,000 million setup, and it doesn't matter about your caravan. When it's your home, it's completely different. And you've got to drag those things through those places, and the camper trailer would definitely win in those scenarios. So I'd love to see in the comments what you guys would think, where you're at the moment, what you're thinking of upgrading to, and if this video has changed your mind in any aspects or anything that we've forgotten as well.
We'll see you next episode, and we better get some kids to be in this camper trailer with us.
Ooh.
Little babies.